That's my girl. You'll be the ultimate warrior.
No!
Don't run from me, Cassandra!
Who?
A symbol. One I built to defeat death.
Can I help?
You deserve that costume, Cassandra. You're Batgirl.
Thank you.
They've made you soft. You'll never find yourself in the Bat's shadow.
I don't kill.
Is that really your path? Or his? Someday, you might have been a real challenge, if you'd stop holding back.
I'm leaving with the League. Nothing will stop me bringing them back. Gotham is in your hands now. I believe in you.
Protect the symbol. Till the return.
Cass, I'm so sorry, but... Bruce... He's gone.
No!
Cassandra Cain jolted out of her sleep. She'd been reliving this nightmare for months. Bruce Wayne was dead. She protected Gotham now. Barbara Gordon, the Batgirl before her, wheeled around the cave, heading towards the Monitor Wall. Barbara had been the one who took Cass under her wing, giving the girl an insight into a world she had never had a chance to experience before. Love. If Bruce had begun to heal the hole left by her father, Barbara had fully become a mother to Cassandra, in absence of her biological one. But even this bond couldn't seem to bridge the wall between them. Cass, for all her strength, for all her reading of people, could never say what she felt. She lacked the tools, and it was slowly tearing her apart. But there was no time for talking now. There was always the mission. Alarms were ringing. They'd been the sound that woke Cassandra up. Before Oracle could even begin to process what the alert was related to, the shadow shaped like a girl was suited up and strapping into her Batmobile. As Cassandra whipped what was more like a jet engine on wheels than a car around the streets of Gotham, she activated the sensory array inside the vehicle. And right on schedule, Oracle's voice came over the transmitter.
Looks like a false alarm. Well, this is an important lesson in not running off before talking to me.
Sorry.
Is what I would like to say. LOL, JK, it's another psycho. It looks like our threat is at the Puckett Dam off of Scott Street. One of Dick's S's is trying to rip it open. Could mean massive flooding all over Midtown if she succeeds. With Batman gone, you're the only one who can stop Orca. I'm mapping your usual shortcuts now.
Cassandra smiled and floored the accelerator, launching the lump of steel and oil at full blast off a construction site, gaining the air she needed for the car to land on a nearby building. She then activated the car's grapnel hook and attached it to one of the closest skyscrapers, and drove off the edge, swinging the Batmobile like a pendulum, and removing the tether at the apex of its swing.
Boosters.
With an excessive amount of fuel burned in one gigantic blast, the Batmobile was hurtled at speeds that would cause even race car drivers to pass out, its momentum carrying it across the side of the Cobblepot shipping building, smashing a couple of windows before dropping onto a highway, the stabilizers taking a massive hit from the impact. But they could take it. The Batmobile purred for Cass. She just needed to coax it. It spun as it landed, but rather than bothering to get it under control, Cassandra ejected from the car, causing the automatic emergency brake to kick in. As the car screeched to a halt, it nearly tipped over, but its weight was countered as Batgirl landed on the roof.
Hate to imagine what all that did to the tires. We have a plane, you know.
Car faster.
You do keep setting new records. Just try not to break this one, and focus on breaking the giant killer whale woman.
Orca was lumbering around the site impatiently. She wasn't used to plans of this intricate nature, but she was good at keeping the mooks in line. As they finished laying down the last of the explosives, the whale woman again tossed the damn guard up into the air, catching him by the shirt with her teeth, giggling at the grown man's childish screams, not realizing, as slowly but surely, members of her gang were disappearing into the shadows. Their screams ended by nerve blows before they could begin, leaving the horrified criminals breathless, as they were unable to even hear their own voices. Non-lethal, of course, and practically painless, but without a doubt, terrifying. Orca eventually looked up from her entertainment torturing the guard, and found that now, she was alone. The tank of a female got up and marched into the darkness, preparing to demolish anyone who was stupid enough to pick a fight with her.
Don't worry, whoever's out there. I'm not gonna kill you. I just want to play with you.
Cassandra prepared to leap out from the darkness and take out the oaf, who was leaving herself open in at least 7 different ways. But just as she began to make her first steps, a golden light appeared in the sky above them and purged the shadows.
Found you!
Caught off guard, Cassandra was struck by a backhand from the giant woman, sending her into some nearby pumps, her pride more injured than her body. Orca, now more curious as to who helped her find her foe, looked up into the sky and saw 2 Saiyans, who hadn't seemed to have noticed what was going on.
My scanners reported that this area possesses the most chatter among known felons. If Batman really is alive, as Jenny said, it's safe to assume he'll be showing up here.
You're helping me out a bunch, Gohan. Great job! Now, I can't sense his ki, not one bit. Which is weird. But he did always say he was learning how to hide from me. He's gotta be crazy strong now!
Thanks to Superboy's involuntary Super Saiyan glow, Kakarot was assured that even if he couldn't sense Batman, he might still be able to see him. He cartoonishly searched the area for a moment, before seeing a familiar cape, symbol, and pointy ears rise to their full height.
Batman?
Batgirl.
Kakarot felt his heart sink a little as the realization dawned on him that this person didn't look like Bruce at all. Well, he was never any good at telling the difference between people, but now he did notice something familiar about this new acquaintance. Gohan, in the meantime, had identified Orca, a known criminal, and decided to assist in his usual fashion. He took a breath, a little bit insecure after his last scolding by Lex, but decided to launch into a pose, ready to announce himself to the foe.
Not so fast!
No, she's mine.
Gohan was stunned silent, as the extremely intimidating costume and sharp tone made the boy take notice. Orca was very confused at all of this, but she did understand the Gotham heroes, and decided to keep her attention on the cloaked figure walking towards her.
That's a metahuman by all accounts. A street-level hero will be outmatched. We should assist.
Oh, nah. If she doesn't want help, we gotta stay out of it. It's her fight.
But Mr. Kakarot, greater numbers are the obvious choice here.
Just watch. This one, she's got something special. I can tell.
Cassandra raised her open palm in front of her chest and centered her body.
No more places to hide. Now you gotta fight me in the open, pipsqueak.
Orca blinked, and the shadow vanished. Before the whale woman could open her eyes, Orca fell to the ground with a thud, as Cass shook her fist a little. Such thick skin wasn't the nicest thing to hear. But, no matter how tough the outside is, you can't beef up your liver. Kakarot's eyes lit up in excitement. He'd only ever seen one person move like that, and he didn't think it was possible for someone else in the entire world to match it. Maybe even was passive. He ran up to Batgirl and with a childish glee, congratulated her on her finishing move.
Whoa! That was awesome! You did such a perfect shift of weight! And your arm? There wasn't any unneeded movement in your shoulder! Was it like this? No. Something like this.
Like this.
Cassandra demonstrated the blow, and then Kakarot followed suit, with Cassandra then correcting his form manually. Gohan was dumbfounded, as the two seemed to have completely gotten distracted from the task at hand. Cassandra was a little apprehensive of the stranger. She knew of Kakarot, and Wonder Woman had informed the cave of his return, but she had never met him in person. But most of all, she had never met someone who could recognize and emulate her moves so easily. Not even Bruce. It was a new feeling.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but Mr. Kakarot, you're looking for Batman, remember?
Oh crap, yeah! Sorry, I got a little off track.
Batman?
Didn't you hear? Batman's dead. And now so are you.
To everyone's shock, Orca was still conscious. Despite being unable to rise from the floor, she still activated the switch she'd been keeping in her hand, that was primed to blow up the dam. The three heroes were unable to react in time, and prepared for the worst, as Orca gave a guttural laugh of victory. However, the dam remained fine. Seconds continued to pass, and the explosives weren't going off. Orca pressed the switch down repeatedly, to no avail.
You're wrong, Batman and Robin will never die.
From the dark sky above, out of their flying Batmobile, the dynamic duo landed among the gathered heroes on the Pocket Dam. Batman and Robin had managed to jam the signal from Orca's remote trigger, making the bombs planted around the dam no more dangerous than simple hunks of metal. In a quick burst of speed, brought on by frustration, Cassandra pummeled Orca with a series of blows, to ensure she was out cold this time. Kakarot was now too preoccupied to admire the surgical precision of Batgirl's blows. The rumors he'd heard from Jenny were true. Batman conquered death. Somehow, some way, his best friend had found out how to cheat the Reaper. The martial artist knew his friend hated it, but he couldn't help himself. He reached out and lifted Batman up in a bear hug.
Bruce! You're alive!
Afraid not, Champ.
As quickly as it came, the euphoria left the Saiyan. He gently put Batman down, as Dick Grayson removed the cowl. The same bright eyes of hope he was used to seeing, now tinged with a deeper sadness. Kakarot understood what Dick wearing that cowl meant. He understood it in a way very few in the world truly could.
You wear it well, Showstopper.
Thanks, buddy. Means a lot coming from you.
The touching moment between the heroes was abruptly ended, as the bombs planted all over the dam had their indicator lights change from red to green. A snarky voice rang out over Superboy's wrist communicator. A voice belonging to Edward Nigma, the Riddler.
As predicted, the blubber brain failed. But now that I've got your attention, it's time for a riddle.
Oh no.
Huh?
A riddle?
That's right. Solve this brain teaser quick, or Gotham will be Venice 2.0. Without me and within me is death assured, but within you I am life most pure.
I hate these.
Oracle, you got anything for me?
No cheating, Dark Knight.
Water. Humans are 60% water, but they can still drown in it. And if they don't consume any, they'll dehydrate.
The bombs scattered around the dam shut down permanently this time, as the group breathed a sigh of relief. Kakarot slapped Gohan on the back proudly, remarking on how clever he was for piecing it together. But the celebration was premature, as Riddler's voice came back online.
Well, of course you got that one. I practically gave you intellectual children floaties. That riddle was simply a prologue anyway. For tonight I've cooked up something oh so special. And even with these surprise allies, the dynamic duo will be no help. Riddle me this, Batman. This titan of industry has a new king. How fast will he rise to the top?
With the transmission cut out, the gathered heroes looked at each other, waiting for someone to come up with a plan. Hey geeks, I hope you're enjoying the video, but if you really want to help support the channel, head on over to our Patreon and our Discord. Through Patreon, you can help support us directly and make sure that all the amazing artists and voice actors on the Geeks for Fun team are being supported as best as we can. But through Discord, you can get in contact with the rest of the community and even submit some of your own fan art. We love to see anything you guys bring to the table and bring our stories to life. With all of that said though, let's get back to the video.
I've got it! He'll do it really fast.
This imbecile was Father's closest friend. Did he pick him up where he found you, Richard?
Yeah, buy one, get one. If I could find another one of you, they'll give me a discount.
Please, there is only one. Me.
Yup, there sure is. What do you make of the riddle then, old chum?
It's banal. However, your impudence has given my subconscious enough time to sort through the possible solutions. It's obviously hinting at my takeover of Wayne Enterprises, the only noteworthy rise in business in Gotham has seen in decades. As a result, the target is Wayne Tower. As I'm sure you'll keep prattling on the way, it'll give me sufficient time to deduce the remaining details. Let's move, Richard.
Great work, kid. Never cease to amaze. Alright, we're taking the plane. I'm guessing you two will fly. Cass, wanna hop in with?
See, look, just hold on like this, and we're off.
Understood.
Cassandra held on to KAKAROT as they flew off into the sky. Superboy decided to glide next to the flying Batmobile, analyzing and admiring its propulsion system as it soared through the air. Damian took note that the boy was foolish enough to put his face directly near the exhaust in order to get a better look, being completely unfazed by its heat.
Team chat's going offline. Riddler's got into my system again. I'm going to try to keep him out of anything too important, but I won't be able to assist any further in the field. By the way, I solved the Titan part. There's a giant gorilla.
Did she say gorilla?
That's ridiculous. Why would she have said gorilla?
Is that Vegeta? Wait, no. Vegeta was bigger. Who's this guy?
In a display that was shockingly familiar to those that had seen King Kong, Titano, the Super Ape, roared mightily as he began to climb atop Wayne Tower. Dick Grayson, having been at this officially longer than anyone, even KAKAROT, wasn't fazed by the sight. He'd seen a lot weirder, and was instead focused on why the Riddler would use such a seemingly random ally. It had to be a distraction, but one deadly enough that they couldn't ignore entirely. Had this just been the Bat family, their options would have been a lot more limited, but with the extra muscle of two Saiyans, Dick felt confident in this team as his safety nets. Now, he just had to work out where Riddler was in all of this, which was easy. Edward was always about his ego. Titano wasn't climbing to the very top. He was now just holding onto the upper levels of the building. So that meant his boss couldn't resist being above them all, probably after any files in Bruce Wayne's old office. The Caped Crusaders smiled and opened up the roof of their car.
Robin, you do what you do best, and I'll do what I do best. Deal?
Same as always then. Can't you ever make a plan first?
Nah, there is a plan. Hit him really hard.
I like this plan.
Thanks, champ. Batgirl, Kakarot, that window.
Batman laughed with a gleeful joy as he glided through the night. Cass and Kakarot following suit, not sure on the intended goal, but having total faith in Dick's leadership. There was an aura around him, a confidence that made you have more faith in yourself by proxy. Titano swung his giant fist towards the three, but before it could land,
Superboy, suppressing fire.
Damian threw explosive batarangs at the humongous hand. Superboy followed suit and managed to get Titano to focus on the two Super Suns by unleashing his own volley of ki blasts.
That was so fast! How did you know Batman needed you to do that?
Amateur. We did what we do best. He jumps. I catch him.
Grayson, Kent, and Cain dashed through the building on their way to the top. Kakarot sending a blast all the way from their floor to the roof, and Batman and Batgirl prepared to grapple through this new shortcut. Before they could, Riddler came on through the intercom, causing the group to stay alert, as the mastermind could have booby-trapped the area.
Bravo! Bravo! Leave it to the world's greatest detective's most cunning mind to think of getting into the building by breaking a window. I'm truly foiled now. Clearly, I could never have conceived of how to stop you from brute forcing your way straight to me. Ha! Right. To get me in time, you'll need more than quick feet. Riddle me this, Batman. Prayer and fast living can't guarantee a good life, but friends can wish you the best of both.
Do you think that one was for us?
You know, I think I remember why all of Bruce's villains hated us. This one doesn't seem as specific, but it'll probably...
In a torrent of white lightning, Batman was thrown through the hole Kakarot had made, sending him hurtling through the upper levels at blistering velocities.
Godspeed.
The colourless speedster went for another attack, but this time, Kakarot blocked the punch. The resulting shockwave smashing what windows remained undamaged in the room.
Guys like you always give me trouble, but I'm kinda excited.
Not bad. You're pretty fast, but I'm faster.
Kakarot's eyes widened as the image of Godspeed suddenly multiplied into hundreds of afterimages that proceeded to throw out thousands of needle-like punches from every direction, outpacing Kakarot's attempt to block and blitzing the overwhelmed Saiyan. Outside, Superboy and Robin weren't faring much better, as Titano was able to deal with Superboy's attempts to attack, the young Saiyan's reluctance to use his full power while knowing civilians were in the building, giving the creature the chance to overpower the boy's own defenses with immense blows. Damian's constant nagging from the Batmobile was no help either. When Titano used his eye-beams to try and blast Gohan away, the hero quickly cupped his hands together and caught the lasers with a blast of his own. However, the giant ape kept pouring on more power, Gohan carefully trying to match it.
Don't get distracted by those lasers. Pay attention to his true target. His hands are still free. He's trying to draw you in so he can smack you out of the air.
Don't tell me how to fight!
Stop failing.
Robin's assessment of the ape's movements were correct, but he'd mistaken the projected target, as a massive hand not only smacked the Batmobile out of the air, but grasped the young boy in a vice-like grip. Gohan couldn't help but feel a bit vindicated as he casually chit-chatted with Damian while dodging the ape's wild swings.
You were saying to pay attention to the true target, yeah? Hold on. Do you mind if I take notes? I want to absorb your strategic mind in action.
Not another word.
You know, I thought I would have been the one to get grabbed, what with the blonde hair and all.
Back inside the tower, Kakarot struggled to try and stand, as Godspeed continued to pummel him to the ground. Oracle was able to re-establish contact with the team, informing Cassandra more on the rogue they faced, and helping to form a strategy. Batgirl attempted to assist by booby-trapping the floor, but the speedster simply phased through them. Something about his appearance wasn't adding up though. She'd studied Bruce's files on the various rogues of the world. This Godspeed was not the typical mad criminal. He was a former detective, one who had gone too far and put his own morals above those he was meant to protect.
Why help Riddler? Breaks M.O.
Not bad, kid. You've got hearts, but just like the rest of this town, no guts. I'm putting up with the scum that gets a bigger fish, the ones not wearing costumes. Wayne Enterprises is going to start falling apart. They put a damn kid in charge. That kind of tech with the worst of Gotham's elite isn't happening on my watch. But I also got a little bonus. I get to take out one of the bastards responsible for destroying Bloodhaven.
But the Justice League brought everyone back!
And you think that's enough? That it makes it all better? People got their lives, but lost everything that made those worth living. Their homes, their jobs, and those monkey bastards came because of you! You expect me to let you live with nukes for fists?
Godspeed charged up a massive bolt of Speed Force energy between his hands and brought it down around Kakarot's head. The Saiyan screamed in pain. At first, his scream grew deeper as he focused his energy and transformed into a Super Saiyan before the speedster's eyes. The massive aura blowing the Avatar of Velocity back against the wall. Kakarot smirked as he finally stood back up.
I ain't never been quick enough to keep up with you speedy guys before. But now, let's see if I finally broke through that ceiling.
Titano had finally been removed from Wayne Tower, but not out of the Super Son's efforts. The monster had instead took to the roof of another building in order to use his free hand to restrain the tiring Superboy. Now, both the children were in the ape's grasp, much to Damian's amusement.
Sloppy. Caught off guard with your speed? I'm amazed they let you out into the field.
You're in his hand right now!
I have him exactly where I want him.
You're the most annoying person in the whole world! Ever!
Listen to me. I've taken your skill set into consideration. My genius has allowed me to create the perfect win condition. Now, transform into your great ape state. You'll never see it coming.
We're gonna die.
Are you a fool? Transform at once. Say it. Go!
I don't have a tail. I can't transform.
This complicates things immensely.
It's fine. I can use up the energy I have left in one more giant blast. That should give you the time to get away and inform the others.
That's a ridiculous plan, but respectable. Not to worry. It won't be necessary. It's time for my 5th contingency plan. Alfred, activate protocol. Juliet.
Master Damian? Are you sure? Very well. I do hope you're right about this.
From the Batcave, at lightning speed, came a familiar face. Damian had spent weeks touching it up and perfecting the intricate details. But the part he spent the most time on was the...
Is that a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Her name is Juliet. She's a B-Rex.
In a shocking display of mobility, the robotic dinosaur jump-kicked its way to the roof and clamped its massive jaws on Titano's arm. The ape screamed in pain and reflexively unleashed Gohan, who quickly flew over and rescued Damian from the grip of the monster. The Super Sons then flew over and landed on Juliet's back. Unfortunately, Titano managed to hit the dinosaur with a hard right and damage some circuitry.
The power cells are out of alignment now. She won't be able to fire. Unless...
Robin shot Superboy a look, one that only young boys with unrivaled imagination could give. Gohan returned in turn, a goofy smile forming on his face.
You're serious?
I'm always serious. Fire on my mark.
Titano charged towards the B-Rex, now in a savage fury. Teeth flared and energy concentrating in its skull, ready to be unleashed. But the monster stopped in its tracks, as the robotic dinosaur now began to glow with golden power. Bursts of steam emerging from the sides of its mouth. Titano felt a primal instinct it had believed to have suppressed. Fear.
Now!
Jurassic Jolt!
The beam enveloped Titano and sent him hurtling into the sky, before violently crashing back down in the Gotham Bay. Superboy used the last of his speed to keep the impact from causing any waves. The young Saiyan began to lose altitude, but Damian caught him with his grapple and placed him back on top of his trusty steed.
The name was unnecessary.
Yeah, I know, I just get caught up in the moment. I should probably stop.
Unnecessary. But cool. Good work, Superboy.
Thanks. You too. But, well, I've started going by Gohan, if you want.
Very well, Gohan. My name is Damian Wayne. You may be of use to me in future battles.
Kakarot was starting to feel his own energy wane. He was stronger than Godspeed now, and was able to land a couple of shots on him after he became a Super Saiyan, causing the Speedster to take on some pretty heavy damage. But that had only made him more careful, making sure to stay out of range of Kakarot's attacks, then batter him with his own. Hit and run. The Super Saiyan knew them well. They were normally a good sign of a skilled fighter. Hit without getting hit. But Godspeed didn't so much as possess skill, but an overwhelming speed advantage, even against the Super Saiyan. Feeling teleportation was his only option remaining, Kakarot sent out his Violet Rift, this time in multiple directions. Purple portals appeared around the hallway they were fighting in, and Kakarot moved between them at random, firing a rapid chaos cannon that ping-ponged between the different portals, zigzagging across the room and slamming against Godspeed. Or so it would have, but Godspeed could use the Speed Force, and a Saiyan trick wasn't going to bridge that gap. The demon of acceleration felt that time around him had stopped, his perception moving so fast he could simply pick Kakarot up and place him in front of his own attack. As the martial artist tried to push his speed, he felt a sharp pain in his chest, doubling him over and leaving him panting on the ground, no longer a Super Saiyan. The martial artist yelled in pain as his own attack slammed him in the back.
That hurts, but I'll remember you by that. Almost brave how long you kept fighting. Almost. But you ain't a man. Never were. Never will be. Only men are brave. Now, I'm gonna need a running start to kill you, tough guy.
Godspeed got into a sprinter's position, the speed force rippling across his muscles, as he braced himself to unleash his strongest punch, one straight line from him to Kakarot's neck. He smiled beneath his mask and ran straight into Cassandra Cain's fist, knocking him out instantly, with the momentum of his own power.
Pow.
Even the most skilled fighters in the world would have risked tearing their own arm trying a tactic like that, but Cassandra was beyond even them. She could read a person's moves, and if she knew the Speedster was going in one direction, all she had to do was stay hidden, and put her fist out at the perfect moment.
Nice save! He almost had me there. Super Saiyan really just doesn't work for people I can't hit. It just tires me out. You had a much better idea.
No, you! Big blast! It was awesome!
Oh, the Chaos Cannon?
Like this?
No, like this. See? Arms out in front.
Boom! Can't do it.
Sure you can. You're like me, ain't ya?
Yes, I see now. You have it.
It's like you can see a person's moves just by watching them. Your whole body just itching out to fight. I didn't think I'd meet another person who saw the world like me.
Me too. Your style. Beautiful.
Yours is too. Well, it could be a lot better. Your ki is all unbalanced. You're probably gonna have bad nightmares if you stay like that. I can help you fix that if you want.
Training?
Only if you can handle it.
Bring it!
The two giggled excitedly, throwing out some light sparring moves against each other. Not to fight, but to talk. The way they both truly could express themselves. Through combat, a language rarer than any other in the universe. As the two martial artists shared in this special moment, they were interrupted by the sound of the Riddler, falling through the hole from earlier and impacting on the ground with a painful thud. Dick Grayson appeared from above and landed beside him, having taken care of the perplexing puzzler in quick fashion. Bruce's villains were never able to properly adapt to Grayson.
Riddler's down. Looks like you all acted bravely, and the boys got pretty bold. Not bad for our first team up.
We cause the earth to shake. Kingdoms we consume. Strike one down and no difference will it make. All move in time to seal your doom. Riddle me this, Batman. What are we?
I'll mail my answer to Arkham when I get the time, okay? Night.
Batman used a nerve pinch on the Riddler's neck, knocking him out cold, and ready to be rounded up with the rest of his strange new allies. Kakarot and Gohan joined the rest of the Bat family in the cave, resting up after the hard-fought battle.
Oh, you're looking seriously drained. Don't worry, I'll bring you back up. Here.
Kakarot turned Super Saiyan and gave Gohan enough energy to replenish himself.
So my father died to help you unlock the power like this. I hope you were worth it, Kakarot Kent.
Damian looked respectfully at the man his father died to save. He bowed in a show of honor. Then, he turned to Gohan, and they went to go examine the B-Rex and other Wild Workshop inventions of the Batcave. Some time passed, and Kakarot and Cass continued to compare techniques, copy each other's moves, argue about stances, and compare workout routines.
She's really getting along with the champ. He's always been great with kids.
Head still in the sky, Pixie Butts. She's never talked this much. Not with anyone. This is what she needs. I hate to say it, but right now, we're not the best place for her.
We've all got to spread our wings out of the cave sometime. We're growing up too fast.
Now, Superboy, prepare for the awesome might of Bat-Cow.
No! Such power! Impossible!
Alfred had prepared a dinner worthy of a Bat family and two Saiyans, filling the Great Hall of Wayne Manor with so much food, even Laughley's would have been overwhelmed. The butler thought to himself, as laughter echoed across the room, that this would have made Master Bruce proud. Dick made sure to sit next to Kakarot, and had a brief catch-up with his old idol, before moving on to the matter at hand.
Hey, so me and Babs have been thinking. There's something I want to ask you. Would you help train Cass? Take her in at the farm?
Huh? Oh yeah! Yeah, sure! I'd love to! I was planning on something like that anyway. But, could you give me a sec? I've got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, no problem. Down the hall, champ.
KAKAROT stared in the mirror of the bathroom before plunging his head down in the sink once again, violently coughing up blood. His hands were shaking. His body felt light, and his chest was on fire. The Super Saiyan was reduced to a shivering, pale mess, terrified of what he saw in his own reflection.
You're not looking so good there. I think I'm in trouble.
Oh, brother, take a seat, old man. Me and Kale are gonna handle things from here. Some mook's been making a move on my turf and I ain't having it. Next time on Dragon Ball DC, the bombshell saga kicks off.